Great. Thank you for the warm welcome and always a pleasure to be a part of E4M. So there's no doubt that influencers and content creators have not just captured news feeds of audiences, but imagination and a large part of brand budgets. Although this is the era of content creators, next year we're going to have the maximum new content creators in any country starting off as content creators, which is going to be in India. And the space is getting extremely, extremely crowded. Not just that, but the algorithms are changing very fast. So it's an exciting space, but also a very, very challenging space. And today we have some great people who are leading the pack in the game come and share not just what is working, but also things which are not working. And possibly these nuggets of wisdom can be helpful for people at large. So let me start this panel with Akash. And Akash, tell us that in this entire crowded space, what are the things that you're really doing which are working when it comes to content creation?
So first of all, a very good afternoon to everybody who's in this hall, and thank you so much for having me on this panel. It's a great pleasure to share this with such nice people around on this panel. So coming to your question, definitely the space is very crowded right now, and as what we were talking backstage also, that the question has the answer in itself. That since the space is so crowded here, what works for me? I started creating content to put it in easier word, I came on Instagram in 2013, and ever since I'm there. So I think being authentic, for me, what always work, be authentic and follow your niche. There will be time where you would feel that, Arey yaar, abhi trend change ho raha hai, I should do something different, this is not working for me. Ya fir yaar, abhi, since like how TikTok came, so everybody was doing videos, everybody was doing later reels. That was not something which I would do, and I was not very comfortable all the time. And it actually, give a little hit to the brands I was doing, because brands do follow the trend. So, but what I feel for long run, what worked for me very well was being authentic. I labeled myself as a luxury lifestyle influencer. That worked for me. I might not get grade B and grade C brands, but the grade A brands were always there. And they knew that my audience, the kind of audience which I have, are always going to buy what I'm kind of promoting or creating that awareness about. So for me, these two words always part for my success: being authentic, being candid, and just put yourself out there. Don't try to be something which you're not. It's always going to fail.
Great. Being authentic always helps. Kevin, you want to add something to that?
Check.
Yeah.
Perfect. Works. I absolutely agree to the entire point about being authentic, but you also have to start considering what is going to be working for you in that sense. Like, for example, is your content actually brand friendly or not? Like, when I talk about brand friendly, I don't just mean to say whether it's like PG-13, whether brands are willing to invest in you and actually understand that will your audience really want to engage with their brand. For example, I have this friend that does these horror stories, and he makes these true crime podcasts and stuff, but he doesn't get a lot of brands because brands just don't know how they can integrate that, themselves into that. I have I don't want to drop any names, but I believe you also have to understand what might work for you in regards to being able to also fetch your brands eventually. So yeah.
Okay, that makes sense. BC aunty, आपका कौन सा कंटेंट है और पिछले साल से टिल नाउ द वे एल्गोरिथम्स बिहेव कर रहे हैं इंस्टाग्राम पे, बहुत चेंजेस आए, तो आपने क्या चेंजेस किया है? व्हाई इज इट दैट योर कंटेंट इज स्प्रेडिंग सो वेल?
थैंक यू एवरीवन एंड गुड आफ्टरनून. तो ऐसा है कि मैंने जेन्युइनली कोई चेंज नहीं किया. इनफैक्ट लास्ट 1 year आई हैव बिन अवे फ्रॉम इंस्टाग्राम. आई वाज नॉट पोस्टिंग ओरिजिनल कंटेंट, पुराना कुछ वीडियो. And I have seen the change that, there are suddenly a content which I had posted 2 years back is getting traction. So, जो भी, मतलब I always tell people, जो भी influencer है या content creator है, कि तुमको हंसी आ रही है ना, post कर दो. Doesn't matter, तुमको हंसी आनी चाहिए. So that's what I apply to myself. But when it comes to brand integration, one very big challenge is कि sometimes the brand doesn't fit into your kind of content. फिर आप ज़बरदस्ती लगे हुए वो फोर्स फिट करने के लिए. एंड आई हैव रियलाइज कि जब भी कोई चीज़ फोर्स फिट की गई है वो नहीं वर्क करती है. तो एज आकाश सेड कि ऑथेंटिक रहोगे, कैंडिड रहोगे तो ही कंटेंट भी वर्क करेगा, और कंटेंट वर्क करेगा तो बिजनेस वर्क करेगा. तो ये कंप्लीटली मेरा मानना है.
बहुत बहुत सही. मंत्र, what are your thoughts? Anything different? Any other advice that you use or could be helpful for others?
check. किसी को कुछ नहीं मालूम नकवी साहब, सब हवा में छोड़ रहे हैं. मैं इस पैनल की बात नहीं कर रहा हूँ. किसी को कुछ नहीं मालूम. ये बदलते ज़माने में और इस बदलते दौर में हर रोज़ साइंस इज चेंजिंग. नए नए वायरस आ जा रहे हैं, उनको भी पहचानने में डॉक्टरों को 4-4, 5-5 साल लग जा रहे हैं. यहाँ तो ट्रेंड एक दिन में बदल जाता है यार. सो कौन इस चीज़ के ऊपर, आप एल्गोरिदम की बात कर रहे हैं, हमसे मैथमेटिक्स और अरिथमेटिक ना समझ में आया आज तक. एल्गोरिदम जो कि हर रोज़ वैसे ही बदल रहा है. आज कुछ दिखता है, कल कुछ दिखता है, लुकिंग लाइक अ वाओ, एंड इट वर्क्स. And it works, like anything can work. Heck anyway, anything can work. We can sit down, write a script, make absolutely the most wonderful thing, or like a random video might just work out. So we can just sit over here and discuss like nice intellectual people and try to understand the science of influencing, but no one knows no shit about this, man.
No one has no clue according to you.
It's going on. I mean, it's the basics. I mean, I started off with radio. I run a podcast channel. That's why I was very interested in knowing how things are working over there. Brands के पास जब जाओ और उनको समझा रहे हैं पॉडकास्ट, तो वो अच्छे से पहले आपको ऊपर से नीचे तक देखते हैं, बोलते हैं, फिर वही ROI की बात निकलती है, फुटप्रिंट्स की बात निकलती है, एंड वो सीधी सीधी बात ही कहते हैं कि भाई मैं अखबार में देता हूँ ऐड. वो भाई आज भी अखबार में ऐड दे रहा है. वो अखबार में देता है और उसे मालूम है शाम तक उसको जितने फ़ोन कॉल आएंगे नीचे जो है ना, जल्दी संपर्क करें 9324 जो भी है, जितने कॉल बैक आ गए उसको मालूम है कि उसका ऐड काम कर गया. सो दैट्स अबाउट इट फॉर
ROI की आपने जो बात की, इस पे आते हैं एक मिनट में. पहले लेट्स टेक शशांक पर्सपेक्टिव एज वेल कि क्या चल रहा है, आप कुछ डिफरेंट कर रहे हैं.
नहीं, आई थिंक rightly said that in today's time anything can work. You have no specific formula कि ये चलने वाला है, कि स्मॉल वीडियोस चलने वाले हैं, कि लॉन्ग वीडियोस चलने वाले हैं. आई थिंक अगर आपका मैसेजिंग इज़ क्लियर, इफ़ योर मैसेजिंग to your audience is clear, I think it works. And like I love traveling. I love going on different places, walking on the streets, catching a flight. So every time when I have caught more than 200 flights, every time I go to an airplane, I'm excited. Whenever I land to a destination, I'm excited. And I showcase that. So I think if you feel nice about something and if you're showcasing that, you don't need anyone's approval or anything. It might work, it doesn't work, but आपको मज़ा आना चाहिए. That's the whole point. So
मज़ा आना चाहिए is a common theme that is coming across. Whatever you do in it.
That's the whole formula. I mean.
Sayali, what about you?
So I think most of people don't know that we were trying since 3 years कि हम लोगों का ट्रायल एंड एरर चल ही रहा था. We as in शॉर्ट्स ब्रेक टीम. So हम लोगों ने बहुत अलग अलग चीज़ें ट्राई की, बहुत अलग अलग जॉनर्स ट्राई किए, बट हम सब लोग एक फिल्म मेकिंग बैकग्राउंड से आते थे. सो देन वी स्टार्टेड ट्राइंग कि हम लोग अलग अलग कैरेक्टर्स ट्राई करने लगे. सो ये मेरा पर्सनल एक्सपीरियंस बता रही हूँ कि हम लोग काफ़ी सारे कैरेक्टर्स ट्राई करने लगे, एंड दैट्स व्हाट वर्क. सो इफ़ यू गाइज नो काम वाली बाई, दैट कैरेक्टर, इट वर्क रियली वेल, और बहुत लोग उस चीज़ से कनेक्ट हो गए. देन ये एक स्टोरी टेलिंग है हमारे लिए कि हर घर में काम वाली बाई है, एंड जस्ट इन अ कॉमिक वे वी शो कि हम लोग एक स्टोरी टेलिंग करते हैं, दैट्स व्हाट पीपल लव. सो हर घर में हस्बैंड वाइफ है, हस्बैंड अपनी वाइफ से परेशान है, या फिर वाइफ है जिसके हस्बैंड से अनरियलिस्टिक कुछ एक्सपेक्टेशंस, एंड दैट्स व्हाट वी शो इन अ कॉमिक वे, एंड दैट्स व्हाट पीपल लव. सो दैट काइंड ऑफ वर्कड फॉर अस. बट नाउ हम लोग ऐसे स्टेज पे है कि अब लोग इससे कंफर्टेबल हो गए. नाउ वी हैव टू लेवल अप. सो हम लोग अभी भी एक्सपेरिमेंट कर ही रहे.
तो एक्सपेरिमेंटेशन इम्पॉर्टेंट है ऑल द टाइम. ओके, ग्रेट. मंत्रा, यू सेड अ वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट थिंग अबाउट ROI, और द स्पेस इज गेटिंग वेरी क्राउडेड. While brands want to invest with content creator influencers, there's a plethora of choices. So when it comes to ROI, Akash, what has been your experiences and how have you navigated and told brand what you get on the table?
So I think, as what I mentioned, that brands are very smart in today's time. You know, you don't really have to sell yourself. They are very smart to know किसका क्या niche है, कोई क्या कर सकता है. Now coming to the ROI factor, as what Mantra very nicely put one example of looking like a wow, I'll give that example. So that one comment just went viral. The lady, she went viral. She's out there. She's million of followers. But क्या वो brands अगर उनके पास आएंगे, जैसे आ रहे हैं, क्या वो उसको टर्न अराउंड कर पाएंगे जो चाहिए होता है. So my why I'm bringing that example here is that any content can go viral and anything can get you followers, but does that get you collaborations, does that get you brand? My answer is no. बिकॉज चाहे आपके 2 मिलियन फॉलोअर्स हो, एक ब्रांड आपके पास आया है और उनको उस चीज़ से आप मे बी 10 प्रोडक्ट्स का सेल नहीं हुआ या कोई अवेयरनेस नहीं. फॉर एग्जाम्पल लास्ट ईयर आई डिड ओरल बी, नाउ द टूथब्रश फॉर 15,000. आई जस्ट हैव ऑलमोस्ट लाइक 400 के फॉलोअर्स, नॉट दैट मच, बट द brand was super happy because my audience, because as I said, I put myself as a luxury lifestyle influencer, so the audience could afford that 15,000 rupees toothbrush. So for them, that worked better rather than taking an influencer who has 2 million, but that 90% of the audience is just watching them because they put funny content or they are putting like something more relatable. So I think the ROI here totally depends on the kind of audience you have, not on the numbers, not on the engagement. You can have like just 5,000 likes on a video or maybe 10,000 people view your video, but if it has reached the right audience, I think that's the right word, then it works for you. And that has worked for me, especially because I, as what Snehil also mentioned earlier, that being authentic, I never try anything extra. If for me fashion works best, I'm just gonna do that. There will be brands which will find me, will pay me, and will get the things done. So I never try to do something. जैसे उन्होंने बोला कि आप कुछ ऐसी ब्रांड पकड़ लोगे, आप उसको जस्टिफाई ही नहीं कर पाओगे, आप खुद उससे रेजोनेट नहीं करोगे. इफ आई डोंट रेजोनेट विद द ब्रांड, आई एम नॉट गोना टेक दैट ब्रांड. एज सिंपल एज दैट.
बाप 50,000 का टूथब्रश, 15,000 का टूथब्रश.
It's an amazing toothbrush, trust me.
Wow, dude.
It has AI.
If you manage to sell that, bro, I'll
Like
invest
anything.
all my money into you.
Respect.
Respect, bro. Satellite बन जावे ऊपर से.
It has Bluetooth and AI. Like it can tell you
कि क्या
when,
किया
how
है.
are you brushing your teeth, right or wrong.
This is crazy, man.
Can I say something? पहले ना 2 साल पहले इतना मिलियन फॉलोअर्स मतलब नेगोशिएटिंग पावर एक इन्फ्लुएंसर की बढ़ जाती थी, और हम लोग जब 100K में खेल रहे थे तो हमको कम पैसा मिला करता था. नाउ दैट हैज़ फ्लिप्ड इन 2 years. It has reversed. It doesn't matter if I have lesser influencers, lesser followers, but reach और कितने लोग कन्वर्ट हो रहे हैं प्रोडक्ट के लिए, that matters. So it doesn't matter if one person has millions में followers. It's about converting them into the idea of a certain product, which the agencies are now probably realizing, क्योंकि पहले तो बिल्कुल ऐसे कि आप रहने दो तो
And that is the right approach, है ना?
And there are brands की जो मैंने भी प्रमोट किया और किसी और इन्फ्लुएंसर ने भी किया, उसने बहुत सारे पैसे लिए क्योंकि वो मेरा दोस्त है, वो मुझे बता भी रहा है कि यार स्नेहिल मैंने इतना ले डाला. एंड आई एम लाइक हाँ क्या, मुझे तो उन्होंने पीनट्स दिए हैं, बट उसके एंगेजमेंट ऑन द पेज वर लेसर एंड माइंड वर मोर. सो वो अंडरस्टैंडिंग जो है ना, ये एवर इवॉल्विंग मार्केट है और उसको सब स्टडी कर ही रहे हैं. हम लोग सब अभी ग्राउंड लेवल पे है, तो होपिंग इन नेक्स्ट 5 years there's some sense to the whole thing.
Correct. I think it's a fair evolution. Yeah. Like a brand should not come to you as per the numbers. What she said ना कि पहले 1 million इनको तो 2 लाख 4 लाख दे दो, आपके 100 के यहाँ 20,000 रुपए से ज़्यादा ही लेने वाले. Now that has absolutely changed, and I think that's an advice to brands also, that don't go on the numbers. See that इनकी audience क्या है, does that fit with your brand ideology or does the influencer resonate with your brand?
It makes absolute sense. शशांक ये बताइए कि sometimes the results are not instant when it comes to ROI. है ना कि 24 hours में कितनी रीच आई, कितना एंगेजमेंट आया. देर आर सम थिंग्स लाइक फॉर एग्जाम्पल BC आंटी सेट कि एक मेरा कंटेंट था जो 2 साल के बाद अब वायरल हो रहा है. So at times do you think that brands have to think slightly long term also with influencers?
Of course, I feel in today's time, such a big market and the population of India, whenever you're working with a brand, instant result, it's quite difficult. I mean, for personal sake, what I feel, because many brands think that okay, अभी ये campaign हो गया, तो immediate results आ जाएगा. But it's not that way. For example, a brand like Amazon or a Nykaa Fashion, they've grown so big. What's the reason? They did continuously. They kept on doing, never stopped. Maybe in 1 year or 2 years, the sales were not that much. But now, they are the name in every household. Every second day, you order something from Nykaa or Amazon. So basically, it's all about brand awareness. जो regular, all your audience, उनको दिख रहा है कि okay, grocery है, ये आपकी daily household things है, इसने Amazon से मंगाया, इसका campaigns कर रहा है. So every month-on-month basis, they are running campaigns with different sects and different genres of influencers. So I think that's the way it should be, because instant result, I feel it's very difficult in today's time because so much of data, so much of social media around. आपको brand recall value, that is the more important thing. What I feel, all the brands, all the agencies should take a note of.
Great. Let me get Sayali into the conversation. Sayali, brands के साथ, how do you set the right expectation when they partner with you?
So whenever we choose brand, it's according to our audience. It should be audience fit. That's what we feel. तो हम लोग चूज़ ही उसी तरीके से करते हैं क्योंकि वी नो आर ऑडियंस और हम लोग बहुत केयरफुल होते हैं उस चीज़ को लेके. तो इफ़ ब्रांड कम्स टू अस, हम लोग देखते हैं कि ब्रीफ कैसे सटली या स्मूथली हमारे कंटेंट के साथ जा रहे हैं. बिकॉज पीपल सडनली उनको ऐसा लगता है कि ओके दिस इज़ एडवर्टाइजिंग और दिस इज़ समथिंग, सो दे डिसकनेक्ट देयर. सो उस पर प्री पे हमारा बहुत टाइम जाता है कि हाउ कैन वी स्मूथली डू दिस इंटीग्रेशन. और फिर जब प्री पे ज़्यादा काम होता है देन ऑटोमेटिकली रिजल्ट्स आते हैं. वैसे कि ब्रांड्स को भी ROI जैसे आप बोल रहे इट मैटर्स, तो ब्रांड्स को भी मे बी अच्छा उससे इम्पैक्ट मिलता होगा. सो दे कम टू अस ऑफन. सो हम लोग एक्सपेक्टेशंस के लिए हम लोग भी वर्क ऑन और कंटेंट कि हम कितने स्मूथली कितना अच्छे तरीके से उसको फिट इन कर पाते हैं ताकि जितना हमारा ऑडियंस है, फैमिली, बच्चे जो भी है, सो दे शुड गेट इट कि वो चीज़ क्या है. एंड आई नो वन थिंग, आई डोंट नो द नंबर्स, बट अभी रिसेंटली ऐसा है मार्केट में कि ब्रांड से ज़्यादा ऑडियंस आप पे भरोसा करती है. सो वी चूज़ अकॉर्डिंगली ब्रांड एंड देन वी सेल इट.
So not being greedy, being very watchful which brands you collaborate with. Mantra, do you have a message to the brands? A lot of CMOs will be listening to this panel and what is being discussed. So if you had to give one message to brands when it comes to collaboration, what would it be?
I think they should definitely observe the market, what is happening at this point of time, and every medium goes through a natural progression. Specifically for my medium, I can speak about the same. 20 years back, 25 years back when we started the private FM era in the year 2000, 2001, we used to go up to the clients, we used to go up to brands and explain to them how radio is such a powerful medium, how it's a local medium and it can go beyond what newspapers can do or what television can do, and it is a much more personal medium. Today, the tables have turned. Now radio has moved on to podcasts and the kind of consumption that people are going towards podcasts. Jitna consumption chal raha hai, khas taur pe because it's a background medium, there is much more chance for your brand to seep into your consumer's mind through a podcast. So they need to observe, they need to go around with the time. That is what I said in the beginning. It's a changing time. Every day it will evolve. You need to be with the time to be able to capture the consumer's mind.
So you have to have a startup mentality as an
Yes,
influencer
absolutely.
all the time.
Yeah, I mean, it's so tough. Like I said, it's been an actual experience of going up to brands and they still belong. I mean, 60% of the brands would still go around and say, नहीं यार मेरे जो दादाजी ने तो ये बोला था कि नहीं local newspapers के अंदर pamphlet भेजो या अखबार में निकालो या टेलीविजन के अंदर न्यूज़ जो चल रहे न्यूज़ चैनल्स हैं वो आज तक में नीचे तुम्हारा स्क्रॉल आ जाएगा तो तुम्हारा काम हो जाएगा. दिस इज स्टिल a mentality that goes very strongly. We know very well where we are watching our cricket matches, not on television. We know exactly where we are watching the news. It's moved towards that medium, so they also need to, and I think they clearly know this thing. I just hope that they understand that podcasts are very important. They need to go towards that also. That's the only medium that they haven't tried their hands on. Not all, a lot of brands out there. I think that's the main purpose that I'm here. So brands, take care of podcasts. They are the new medium where you need to be.
I'd like to add on a little bit more towards that. When it comes in regards to brands and creators collaborations, most brands have these very unrealistic timelines. Like it's like they give you the brief today and they want the video to go live in the next 2 days. Well, for some of us, I believe we've all gone through that.
It's like in the morning and in the night they want to
Sometimes
go.
they're like, just let's
सुबह
go.
दिया है पिछले कल में देना था आपको idea.
Sometimes that is what happens, and with the ever decreasing attention span, we know for a fact that shorter videos are something that performs better, but brands have these certain mandates that they want you to integrate sometimes 3 different things in a 1-minute video and also make sure that you get enough views and you keep your content engaging. So it gets very challenging for creators. I just wish that brands could trust creators a little more when they tell you that we know this bit of content what we are giving you is going to work and you're going to get a lot of views out of it, but most brands are just very adamant on that, no, this is exactly what we want. So I think they need to be a little more lenient when they understand that they are working with a creator that has a very different kind of an audience, and the creator understands their audience better. So I just wish that brands understood
That's why it's a collaboration that they need to understand. It's a collab.
Yes, collaboration is a word. But Kevin, what you're saying right now, that brands put undue pressure, or possibly they don't understand your audiences that well, as much as you do. Has there been an instance when a brand has made you do something which has not worked at all?
I'm sorry?
Has a brand made you do something which has not worked at all? Yeah.
Yes. There has been one or two instances as such, and I have been very specific, and I've told the brand that this is not going to work. I know for a fact, I understand my audience, this is not something that, would work, but then sometimes you just, there are also this thing that you don't want to ruin the relation with the brand, because again, like sometimes there are these major agencies that have a lot of mandates for a lot of brands, and if you ruin your rep with them, then you are not going to be able to get work. It's just going to be like, this person is difficult to work with. So out of that pressure, you're just like, you know what, I just got to do it because this is going to hamper my future. So there are many times creators end up doing that.
Shashank, you want to add something?
Yeah, I feel the brands, if they are trusting us in terms of giving us a campaign, I feel it's our responsibility to do justice to the brand. So I feel the creativity part should be left up to us. Basically, the small points. If they just give us a brief idea, basic idea, this needs to be portrayed. I know if I do a lot of luxury travel lifestyle, if I'm promoting a perfume brand, I know what is my selling point, how do I want to showcase it in my own way. If you have certain specific, and if you are like, this has to be written this way and specific, so the creativity hampers, and the whole team also, they are like, okay, so they are just making it for the sake of making it. But I feel the brands should always keep in mind that if you're trusting an influencer from this space, luxury space or a comedy space or a informational space, so they should leave it up to him. And because end of the day, just for the sake of doing it doesn't work well for them as well.
Makes sense. Akash spoke about being authentic is extremely important, and being true to your audience. So I think that's great advice for emerging content creators. आपके एक्सपीरियंस से और क्या आप एडवाइस दे सकते हो अगर कोई कंटेंट क्रिएटर बनना चाहता है आज के ज़माने में?
So yes, I think there are 2 to 3 things, as Akash said, कि you can't like imitate or copy, कि आप अगर वैसा करते हो तो इट्स ओवर. लोगों ने बहुत देखा है, वो देख रहे ऑडियंस की इन्होंने भी कर चुके, उन्होंने भी ये किया है. सो डू एनीथिंग, गेट इंस्पिरेशन, बट ऐड योर यूनिकनेस टू इट, ऐड योर टेस्ट टू इट, तभी वो वर्क करेगा. एंड सेकेंड थिंग, बहुत सारी चीज़ें ऐसी होती कि बहुत सारे पॉइंट्स ऐसे होते कि नहीं वर्क कर रहा है, बट इट लिटरली चेक्स योर पेशेंस, की पेशेंस चेक होता है एक पॉइंट के बाद ही चीज़ें वर्कआउट करेंगी. एंड थर्ड थिंग, कि जब आप किसी लेवल पे पहुँचते हो, हम ऑडियंस को थोड़ा ग्रांटेड लेने लगते हैं कि नाउ आई गॉट दिस नंबर्स एंड वॉट एवर आई डू दे गोना लव इट. हम ऐसा सोचते हैं, बट ऑडियंस के पास बहुत सारे ऑप्शंस है, बहुत सारे चॉइसेस है, एंड दे गेट बोर ईजीली. अभी आपका हुआ, दे विल गो टू समवन एल्स. तो उनको रखना है हमेशा वैसे, इसके लिए आपको हमेशा लेवल अप करना पड़ेगा. सो दैट्स व्हाट माय एडवाइस इज, कि हमेशा यू कांट सेटल, यू हैव टू लेवल अप ऑलवेज.
तो ऑलवेज ऑन रहना चाहिए आपको हर चीज़ में. Speaking about always on, maybe Akash could share some light on this. How does a day of a content creator really looks like? Obviously, there's no 9 to 5, but
तो पूरी वेब सीरीज बननी चाहिए.
But at every moment, do you think content in whatever you're doing, is that the mindset?
No. So I can talk about myself. I'm the most lazy person. My manager is just recording. They are after my life that, Akash, you don't post anything, you don't make anything, you don't come to the office. So what you see on Instagram, that, oh, I woke up like this and making my coffee. Nobody roams naked in their house whole day. Nobody's making coffee in the morning. Nobody's doing that. I don't do that. I wake up and I switch on my phone, and then I have all deadline messages. You have not done this. Raise the invoice. So our mornings, my morning starts very cranky. I just keep my phone on the side. I'm like, I need to meditate first. I need to put my head on peace. So coming back to the question on serious notes, that I don't think of making content. Again, it might sound boring, but I again feel being authentic. So what's my lifestyle? I just put it out there. Whatever I'm doing, I'll just put a story, I'll put a picture. And I'll tell you honestly, I never thought of being an influencer. I became by default. I was a model, then became an actor, then followers बढ़ गए, brands आ गए, and then I'm like, okay, good money, it's happening, people are liking it. So I never thought of in that perspective. Now I just put my lifestyle out there, whatever I'm doing, maybe taking a flight, going to the gym, whatever, and people relate to it, and that's how my audience engage. So I think I exactly not think of making content, but yeah, as what we have spoken earlier, that we don't have a 9 to 5. Like yesterday, we started shooting at 8:30 at the night. And sometimes, you know, there are instant collaborations. Like, okay, tomorrow is the deadline, as what Kevin said, unrealistic deadlines. But the money is good sometimes, so you have to follow that. And sometimes the brands are very good. So I think it's a very haywire day. You don't know what you're going to do. You just get up, put yourself into senses, have a cup of tea, and then like, okay, let's go out. Let's see what's going to happen. And yeah, for me, it works that way. I just be myself and I put myself out there. Or कई बार ऐसा होता है that I put my peace first. Like for me, these people know, my team knows that 11 to 6 is the only time you can call me. I'm not going to take a call at night. I'm not going to receive call in the morning. My phone is off. I think being professional is very important as a content creator, because yes, people may label you as difficult, but that's okay. I think the peace of mind is also very important.
Peace of mind is so
true, man.
important. Yeah.
Hey, here's a great idea for the brands. A brilliant reality show. You put influencers in the same house and take their phone away.
Mantra, they have done that.
हो गया ये?
They have done that.
हो गया? Just literally just imagine like
उधर
a
भी
drug
नहीं
addict
बुलाया
going, I need it. I need to make a story.
There's a show on Netflix.
आ गया ये चीज़
But
बहुत
I,
अच्छा।
I,
Can
don't,
I-
I think you can't switch it off. I think 12 of the night in the early morning also. Every time it's back of your mind, and you have deadlines and you want to do something, because I'm a person with a lot of passion if I do anything. So back of the mind, I have some story in my head, or the way it should look, whatever I'm making, if I'm traveling. So yeah.
Which is a very different perspective than Akash.
Yes.
Okay.
I have
Yeah,
a whole
for me,
always
for
on.
me it's like more like work is there, and I'm gonna do, and I'm a super passionate person. But then again, at the night, I want to just spend time with my dog. I don't want to, you know, think on what we're gonna do. देखा जाएगा कल जो होगा. I sometimes believe in that.
fair enough.
Can I also
We see
add,
aunty. Yeah.
like for these guys, they are playing themselves on their Instagram page. I put on a persona. तो मेरे को तो multiple personality disorder, because I'm a mother, a wife, I have a day job, and then on top of it, I have to become BC aunty. तो it is a crazy day. मेरे ऊपर बायोपिक बनानी है किसी को तो rights are available, क्योंकि अब sometimes I forget what is going on. रात में उठ के मैं कुछ voice recording करती हूँ, and my husband is क्या हो गया baby? मैंने कहा idea आया है. So you know, बड़ी
Just imagine what your
आमद हुई
husband
है.
goes through where at multiple you every
So
all throughout the day.
suddenly out of nowhere he'll walk home and see me wearing a साड़ी गजरा लगा के, ये क्या हुआ? वीडियो बन रहा है. So it is a very, मतलब my life is quite funny. So a day in my life would be definitely, I should do that. Jainam, we should do that.
No, Jenna, we're
बहुत
gonna
मजा
speak
आएगा.
about this. We'll take the rights. We can produce that show.
I believe what she said was so true, because for me it's like it's very difficult for me to go anywhere without my phone, because I'm like, what if I get a piece of content over here that I'm going like that, and it's very difficult to maintain a schedule. Honestly my respect goes out to any creator that says कि Monday को मैं shoot करूँगा, Tuesday को लिखूँगा, उधर मैं edit करूँगा. For me it doesn't work that way. Just very recently, I think just 3-4 days back, I had to attend this concert that had happened by DVLM, and I was partying till 2 in the night. The next day I had to fly to Delhi to give a TED talk. Then after that I came back, I had to shoot a brand video. Then I had an event last night, and then today I'm here. So I don't really know what's going to happen in my life, because work just keeps coming in, and then beach mein you just get content anywhere, and you're like, you know what, I want to make a video of this. And as she said, sometimes 2 in the night you get inspiration, and all of a sudden your setup is on, and log bol rahe ghar pe kya chal raha hai? I have a video idea. Wait 1 second, let me shoot this. So, yeah.
That's true. I also want to share कि एक पॉइंट के बाद ना, मतलब क्रिएटर्स के लाइफ में कोई स्केड्यूल होता ही नहीं है, रादर देन जस्ट शूट स्केड्यूल. उसके अलावा कोई स्केड्यूल नहीं होता है. कभी भी कहीं भी जाना पड़ता है, कुछ भी आइडियाज़ डिस्कस करने पड़ते हैं, तो दे डोंट हैव स्केड्यूल. कभी कभी, एंड इट्स नॉट जस्ट अ डे, नाइट, इट ऑल्सो नाइट की रात भी आपकी उसमें ही बिजी होती है. यू डोंट हैव डे नाइट डिफरेंट, सब कुछ एंगेज हो जाता है. पर्सनल प्रोफेशनल लाइफ समटाइम्स it's everything is at stake sometimes. So this is what a creator's life look like.
It sounds quite hectic and blended, but as long as you are having fun, I think it's great. With that, I think we're coming to the end of our panel. A lot of messages came out here, right from a message for the brands to trust the influencers more, to a message to content creators to be more and more authentic in whatever they're doing. But I'm not going to leave this interesting panel before they tell us their one-line mantra for success. What is that one line that you really imbibe in whatever you do? And mantra can start there.
Yeah, man, I think exactly what he said. Just enjoy what you do and it'll reflect on the screen. It'll reflect to your audience. If you're having fun, they'll have fun with you.
What about you?
I think the one line for me is just believe in yourself and be passionate. Do it with utmost passion and go all out. Then, okay, yeah.
For me, it is keep going, always be on an edge. What lies on the other side is a magical word. This is a magical word, I believe.
Kevin?
For me, it's going to be, don't be afraid to try new things. I used to be a flight attendant. I became a content creator. Now I'm trying stand-up comedy. So whatever works, works. Keep trying new things.
BC aunty?
I want to say कि audience जो है ना वो आपका content ढूंढ लेगी. Just be persistent. Keep putting what you believe in. Audience आ जाएगी. That's what I believe in.
See, for me, it's be yourself. Love yourself and dream big, because I believe in manifestation a lot, and if you dream big, it will happen someday. And just be yourself, as what Mantra said, just enjoy whatever you're doing, and people will love you. People love authentic people for long run. For shorter time, maybe you can pretend to be something and people will follow that, but for the longer run, just be yourself and love yourself and enjoy whatever you're doing.
तुम कैसे करोगी? Be yourself.
हे भगवान.
कौन सा वाला self?
Great. I think those are great pieces of wisdom, not just for content creators and influencers, but I think for everyone at large. So thank you, all of you, for enlightening us.
Thank you so much for having all of us here. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Naqvi Saab. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.